It is the 24th day of March 2017, 136 days to the general election, and the field is shaping up, or is it? At this hour, the country's two major political formations are gearing up for two political rallies in key vote-hunting grounds. Here in Nairobi, the opposition coalition NASA is due to hold a much-anticipated political rally here in Mathare constituency, and the meeting comes amid anxiety in the coalition over the naming of its presidential flag bearer. Meanwhile, in Naivasha, the Jubilee party is set for a political rally at the Kihoto Stadium there. Down at the coast, the Wiper party is dealing with a simmering headache amid reports that Nyali MP Awiti Bolo, who is running for governor, may be decamping to another party. We have our reporters in place in all three locations, but we'll also be going elsewhere in the country and the world for the latest developments at this hour. News desk begins right now. My name is Sophia Wanuna. Our sign language interpreter is William Silla. The Education Ministry now says it will verify all local and international academic papers presented by politicians for this year's general election. Education CS Fred Matiang'i says there will be no shortcut in acquiring academic credentials this time. He spoke as he met officials from the IEBC, the Kenya Revenue Authority, and the Commission for Higher Education. The move follows concerns about the authenticity of academic papers presented to the IEBC by politicians in various elections.
It's important for our country that we move further and further away from some of the challenges we've had in the past, where individuals, not necessarily candidates, but individuals have presented credentials that are not genuine or that are not legit. Because that way we will try to fight tendencies that affect the credibility of our education system and, of course, the image of our country, as it were. We will do our best to support the IBC in this respect.
I believe one of the things we shall be telling them, without preempting what the working group, the technical committee we have appointed will come up with, is that let candidates have verification done in good time. So at the stage of presenting to IBC, we shall have representatives from each of these state agencies there as well to help us verify those documents. And that's what is going to be different. And it's not just the Ministry of Education, it's all the other state agencies which are involved, which were actually itemized yesterday in the publication we issued.
Also, presidential aspirant Ekuru Aukot insists the country must seek a third alternative away from NASA and Jubilee. Dr. Aukot says that the two political formations are one and the same, and that neither of them can give the country a new direction.
The former CEO of Committee of Experts that drafted the 2010 Constitution says the country needs to take a new direction.
I am just fed up of complaining, lamenting, being a bystander, curious onlooker on what's happening in our political sphere and not doing anything about it. And I feel that a lot of us who are seated here, chevening scholars, we can say that over and over again. I think we underestimate our influence on what kind of change we can actually bring to our society.
Ekuru, who is himself running for the presidency under the Third Way Alliance banner, was speaking at the launch of the Chevening Alumni Network, an offshoot of the Chevening Scholarship run by the British government.
Liberation in this country was in 1963. We are convinced it was betrayed. Political conmen took over the leadership of this country and actually betrayed everything that was the agitation towards delivering Kenya to the right people. Fast forward 1992, with the onset of multi-party democracy, again, people who had perfected the language of change and reform got into leadership of Kenya, but went into slumber. They did very little. And up until now, many of them are still seeking political, positions.
Ekuru is promising to lead the country into what he terms as a third political dispensation, the first two being independence and the advent of multipartyism.
If we don't do something about inculcating a certain environment for at least our children or their children, I think we are failing and letting this country down. That the education we have acquired in England, all of us here as scholars, is really nothing. So that's when we started Third Way Alliance Kenya. And Third Way Alliance Kenya is the idea that Kenya needs a third liberation. And that third liberation is about the need for responsive and transformative leadership in this country.
In a clearly crowded political sphere, Ekuru is swimming against the current of tribal overtones that cloud Kenyan politics and a myriad of politicians that have greater political clout and support. He is, however, hoping that his message of taking back our country will resonate with the electorate, giving him a proper shot at State House. Dr. Ekuru Aukot officially announced his presidential aspirations last year. Trix Ingado, KTN News, Nairobi.
To our top story, and the National Super Alliance is set to hold a public rally at Masinde grounds here in Mathare in Nairobi. Of course, and the opposition coalition is promising to make what it calls a major statement at the rally. The rally comes amidst an unresolved issue of who will be the flag bearer for the coalition in the August election. During today's rally, the coalition principals will issue a joint statement on the state of the nation. The coalition principals are at this hour understood to be holding a closed-door meeting in Karen before proceeding to Mathare. We now want to cross over to Mathare, where our Nick Wambua is standing by for us. Nick, good afternoon. Talk to us about what is happening, and do we expect all the coalition principals to attend this rally?
Thank you very much, Sophia. And just once again, we are in Mathare Masinde Muliro grounds, whereby we are expecting the four NASA co-principals, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and Moses Wetangula to be present. And they are starting their rally. They'll be addressing the residents here, or their followers, right from 2 p.m. That is about in 1 hour to come. And Sophia, just to mention is that the coalition has already announced that they are going to be making a major announcement. And of course, we've been waiting for them to announce who is going to be their leader, or the NASA leader, come the August 8th polls. So, Sophia, it is a big expectation from the followers right here, whereby the security is a bit tight, whereby officers are making sure that whoever is coming in this ground is they are well checked. And so, Sophia, we are eagerly waiting, despite the much noise. We are waiting to see or to hear from the co-principals, the four principals, the NASA principals, of who is going to be the flag bearer come the August 8th polls. So, Sophia, yes, we are right here. We are going to be following up on what is happening as we continue. And when they come in, we are going to inform you, and we are going to be bringing this event live to you. That's to our viewers. Back to you, Sophia.
All right, so Nick, if you can still hear me. So one of the things we're expecting perhaps could be the major announcement is who will be the flag bearer. But we also understand NASA will be giving what they are describing as their own State of the Nation address, where they think Kenya is at this point. Is that correct?
Yes, Sophia, as you can remember, Raila Odinga was out just some days ago and he came back. So this is the first rally that the NASA coalition is holding right now after Raila Odinga jetted back into the country. And of course, I've said that today, just after the President Uhuru Kenyatta delivered his State of the Nation address last week ago, Sophia, is that we're also expecting speculations that these are the NASA co-principals will also be issuing their State of the Nation address. And of course, we are expecting for them to hit back at the president's speech over some of the issues that the president quoted in his speech last week. And so, yes, Sophia, the NASA co-principal led by the Raila Odinga, the ODM party leader, we are expecting them to issue their State of the Nation address, whereby they'll be touching on various issues and also selling their manifesto as the NASA coalition. So, yes, we are going to be expecting them to speak on major issues affecting the country, with leading driving factor, of course, being the corruption that is eating up this country. So yes, Sophia, they are going to be issuing the address, and some of the issues or the big expectation from this address is going to be a response to the State of the Nation address by the President. Back to Sophia.
Before I let you go, it appears to be a beehive of activities there at the Mathare Muliro grounds. Have you had an opportunity to speak to those that are attending this rally? What are they saying? What are their expectations?
Of course, Sophia, as I said before, we had talked to some people and they're saying that they're having much expectation, and of course the common factor among the followers here, whereby they're saying that it has been long since the NASA coalition announced, or they promised to announce who is going to be their flag bearer. And of course, they say that they're expecting that today is going to be the last day that the coalition gives the promise of giving who is going to be their flag bearer. And so they're expecting that they're going to announce today who is going to be their flag bearer. Of course, between the four, there's been speculations of Kalonzo Musyoka also leaving the coalition. We are also going to see that today, and we are going to hear the response from Kalonzo himself today. The followers, of course, are being from different parties. They are expecting, each one is expecting that the leader that they support, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and of course, Moses Wetangula, they all expect that they are going to be the flag bearers to this coalition. So yes, they are having much expectation. And as you can see, Sophia, a very big crowd since 10 a.m. is gathering and still coming in with posters, Raila Odinga. We're seeing posters of Kalonzo Musyoka, all the flag, all the core principles, the NASA core principles. As you can see, they're still coming in. And they're saying that in a few minutes, all the four are going to be here. So much expectations, yes, from the audience here or the followers here, whereby they're saying that they're expecting, of course, to be addressing their followers or the nation. So that is a podium, Sophia, as you can see. That is where they'll be addressing the people from. And so far, some leaders, including MCAs and MPs, have arrived here, whereby we are expecting, as you can see, they are starting to address the people around as they wait for their leaders or for the core principles to arrive. So, Sophia, the situation here, we are watching it, and we are going to be informing you much more of what is happening. Sophia.
Many thanks, Nick Wambua, for us live in Mathare at the Mathare Muliro grounds. And as NASA holds its rally there, the Jubilee coalition will be staging their own rally in Naivasha as the contest gets more pointed. Earlier reports had suggested that President Kenyatta would be addressing the rally, but we now understand he may, after all, not attend. The Deputy President is instead expected to lead the charge. The meeting comes hot on the heels of the President's tour of Kisii County, where he reignited the controversy of the 2007-2008 post-election violence. Naivasha is, of course, one of the areas that were worse hit by the violence that claimed more than 1,000 lives. The President has, on a number of occasions, blamed former Prime Minister Raila Odinga for the chaos there. Victor Ogala is live for us in Naivasha. Victor, good afternoon to you. Has the Deputy President arrived in Naivasha?
Well, going by the reaction of the people and the arrival of the guests and the politicians, the Deputy President is expected to touch base here anytime from now. Remember, people have been coming here, the entire Naivasha town, rather here in Kihoto grounds, it has been painted red and yellow in Jubilee colors, and it is turning more of a political rally of not aiming at the national politics, but more of local politics, because we have various aspirants who are vying for various seats, from the MCA level to the Member of Parliament to the county, to the Senate, to the gubernatorial seat. All of them have come here. We've seen all manner of political theatrics, all manner of political gymnastics. We've seen more tracks. We've seen people branded in various T-shirts, capes, or various artists, or various aspirants, sorry. So most of them are here, and perhaps it is also going to be another event where the electorate here in Naivasha will expect the Deputy President William Ruto to address some of the impending issues that have been rocking the people here of Naivasha sub-county. Issues to do with land, issues to do with water. This is among the towns that do not have a constant supply of water, and the constant supply of, the supply of water that is there, it has too much fluoride, which is not good for human consumption. When you talk of issues about land, there are people here who've owned land for years, but then again, they do not have the legal document, which is the title deed. You have people even here in Naivasha town who've built commercial plots, or rather who've even inherited from their family members, from their grandfather. It is a family property, but they've never had title deeds. And when you ask them, rather the people that you manage to talk to, they say that the process of acquiring that document by the lands department here in the county is slow. So those are some of the issues that perhaps they will seek to see the deputy president address. Another impending issue, Sophia, is the issue of closure of flower farms. We had some of the biggest flower farms in the country, such as Shah Karuturi. Karuturi closed down. We have Oserian, whom the other day retrenched hundreds of employees who were working in those farms. And if such a things happen in a small economy such as Naivasha, of course there is a trickle-down effect, because these people used to depend on the little money they were earning from that particular employer. For example, if you use Oserian for that matter. So there is a trickle-down effect, because they will not be able to pay their rent on time, they'll not be able to pay their bills on time. So those are some of the issues perhaps the leaders will expect. And on the other aspect, when we go back to politics, it is a show of might, going by the numbers of people who've come here, going by the number of regalia that is here, the branding that is here on the ground. If you go to the senatorial seat where you have Susan Keheka, who's the Speaker of Nakuru County Assembly, who will be battling it out against Karanja Kabage. Remember, Susan has come out strongly. She began her campaigns way long, mid last year. She began placing billboards all the way from Nakuru. If you go to Molo Sub-County, Olenguruone, Gilgit Sub-County, Naivasha, Bahati. So she and Karanja Kabage will be vying for that senatorial seat. Going to the gubernatorial seat, we have John Mutudo, who was once a member of parliament from Naivasha Sub-County. John Mutudo wants to unseat Kinuthia Mbugua. Remember, Naivasha is the home turf of John Mutudo. Then we have a new entrant, who's Lee Kinyanjui. Lee Kinyanjui, during his campaign trail, we here on the ground, we've not seen much of him here in Naivasha. He's focused more of Gilgil and other areas. So perhaps if you put the three together, as well as Kinuthia Mbugua, it is going to be a show of might here, because if all the leaders, or rather if the strong candidates, all the aspirants are given a chance on the podium to speak, this rally, or rather this meeting, might take yet another angle here at the Kihoto grounds. So I'll give you an example, Sophia, of Viwandani ward here where we are now. We have over 10 aspirants who want to vie on the Jubilee ticket. So those are just some of the issues, or rather the numbers that we are talking about. Sophia?
Right, many thanks, Victor Ogale, live for us in Naivasha. We will be bringing you developments from that rally to be held and led by the Deputy President. Of course, also we have one in NASA, or rather being held by NASA in Mathare as well. We'll be bringing those developments as they unfold. And we'll be crossing over after this break to Mombasa. And Francis Mtalaki will be telling us about some of the stories that we have been following.